It is 7 p.m. Central European Time, well, 1 to 7. And that means that it's time for another Marcel stream. How are you doing tonight? Welcome. One of these days, Marcel's going to start his stream at a vastly different time and catch me off guard, but not today. They're always announced ahead of time on my Discord server, so if that happens, which sometimes does happen, then you'll know. Although usually that's in speed skating season, which is over. It's not starting again until November, so that's gonna take a while until that is the cause anyway. There's always a chance it'll happen for another reason though. It doesn't happen very often. Usually, if I can't, I'll just cancel the stream instead. But anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome Mr. Twaddleford, Agent Zero, Mr. Federals, Shadow Asylum, Major Geeks, and everyone else. The first 7 people have watched our house, tomorrow the next 7. Right, you guys, you built a new house, right? Which means you're gonna have to sell your old one as well. Otherwise, you have 2 highs, and that is not... it's a bit of a waste of money, isn't it? So, how was that? Do you think that, they'll do bits and stuff? I mean, presumably they will, because in the current housing market, when I bought the house, like I was bidding 2 years ago, I was usually, told stories by my realtor that she would... For example, she told a story that she had 20 people putting in a bid for one house and she had to call back 19 of them and tell them no. Which is ridiculous. Like, when we sold our house in 2013, because we moved in with my stepdad into a new house. And so we sold our house where we lived. We could hardly get a buyer. Like, we took part in the open house day and no one came. It was hard to sell the house. Nowadays, when you sell a house, you get like 50 people reacting to it, like wanting to see it. Not all of them can actually see it, because having 50 people to a house is a bit much. So there have to be some pre-selection there. And then you can probably sell it for like 10% more than you list it. Because if there's a lot of people, they will overbid. Which I happen to be lucky that I didn't have to do that. We use a broker to sell our house. That's the same as a realtor, right? Whatever, makelaar in Dutch. I mean, I've never sold a house, so I've only bought one. We're in a holiday house with the doggies and cats. Nice. We were kind of similar in a holiday house in between moving actually in with my stepdad, my mom's new husband. Except the vacation house was his house, which wasn't sold yet, because they both had a house, of course. And we sold both of them, moved into one new house. But we sold our house 2 months too early, so we had to get out. So we just moved in with him for 2 months, and then we moved all 7 of us to a bigger new house. And that's where they still live. All of us have moved out by now. All of us 5 kids. But yeah, I used the same person to buy my house as we used in 2013 to sell our old house. Because she's good. My mom knew her, my mom knew she was good and was like, well, why not try her? And she still knew me. I didn't know her, but she knew me. She recognized me from like more than 10 years earlier. Anyway, today we are going to play by Blazing Empire, Adriatic Seas, which is right here. A seaside piece of land can be developed into an amusement park, made by Blazing Empire HUD. Objective to have at least 10 different types of roller coasters operating in our park, each with an excitement value of at least 6. Well, we'll make that 10, shall we? To make it more interesting. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I haven't looked at which types we're getting yet. It's qualified as a beginner park, so I presume it's not like Mini Coaster and Hardline. At least you don't have to use those, probably. Although, who knows? As I said, I don't know yet. Okay, so we charge for the entrance. And we have a reasonably sized park. Let's start with the merry-go-round. Let's not start with the merry-go-round because we don't have it. Let's start with the bumper cars then. That's a ride we at least have. Okay, can we do more interesting music? Well, not that. Sure. Progressive style, why not? Already ran. That, we start off with really few rides. We're gonna have to go hard into research. Toffee apple stall. I have a special relationship with the toffee apple stall now. So I like it. Duckify Park, of course. Oh, hang on, I think I have to re-enable fire staff. Didn't I disable that at the end of the last live stream? So that, look at that, we got a hype train going on. Thank you for the 15 months, Tucker Pride, and the 5 months bait soup. Let's see, I turned off, I think, staff firing at the end of the last live stream so that I could actually beat the park. No, it's on actually. Maybe I turned it on afterwards again? Well, either way that works. You shouldn't use it now because I don't have staff, so it's a bit useless. This rain is also a bit useless because I have no umbrellas. My only ride is sheltered. So it's not doing anything, except maybe that some rides who otherwise wouldn't go on the dodge and would go on it because they go on any intensity if it rains. Are you turned on by the fire staff options? Well, a little bit. Making people lose their jobs does make me feel pretty good. Hey Tris, welcome. Did you see my reply to your comment, your post in the chat about the live streams, stream chat on my Discord server? Yes, I saw. So you were indeed right. You were correct to keep pushing your narrative because you were right. And I did not look well enough. Basically, Reckless Tris was like, I think that big support, like big scenery items work very well in getting guests to think the scenery is nice. And I looked at the code and I was like, well, they shouldn't really work better than normal scenery items. But then they did an experiment and found that it really does work better. And I was like, well, yeah, experiments don't lie. So I just looked through the code and yeah, I found another place when they just look at the scenery item, they can also think great scenery. And they're much more likely to look at big scenery items. In fact, maybe they can't even look at small ones. I don't know. I haven't looked into the code for watching yet, but either way it works. Look at that, that's all them ducks. I like this music. I believe that's an OpenRST2 exclusive. Redeemed round a guest. Oh shit. Round 7. Yes. Can we do that? Yes. Have fun between all the ducks. Hang on, where are they? There. Good day. This music is very relaxing, this progressive style. Be active or die. What would be the context of that even? Drowning and the sky being completely blacked out because of ducks would be scary. I have a feeling that drowning is scary enough on its own. I don't really think people would necessarily care about the sky being a bit ducky as well at the same time. Drink some water. Yeah. They do say drowning is the least painful way of going out of this world. Well, I can't say yes or no to that because I have never tried. Loop penetration time. Well, since we can't do the medium loop, why not? This is not a very pretty ride, but that's fine. It's mostly here just to make a bit of money. We're having a very slow start to this park. It's April and we don't even have 30 guests yet. And I don't believe harder guest generation is on, because this is a beginner park. Not that that would make a difference anyway at this point. Okay, I wonder how rich our fellas are. Hey, thank you for the 14 months, Mystery Museum. By the way, tomorrow there'll be a new video and it's a good one. It's 45 minutes long and you'll enjoy every single second of it. It's all about the history of the longest ride. And then the week after that, there'll be another 40-ish minute video. Which I have recorded today, recorded the voiceover. Which is longer than I expected. But it's also a good one, and they lead into each other. Will there be an April 1st video? No, I don't have time for that this year. Also, I don't really have a good idea. Is this park the cool and wet climate, or are you just getting unlucky with the weather RNG? I'm not sure if I would call it unlucky, because we don't charge for the ride, so who gives a crap if people are actually going on them? What do you do in your daily life? You're looking at it. YouTube is my job. Do you have any idea how much time it takes to produce those videos? And live streaming is, I mean, part of the job, but I see it mostly as a thing on the side. But they're obviously very related. Apparently I do not know how much time it takes, my bad. Well, the video you're about to watch tomorrow was written in January. We had to delay it. But I think it took probably about 2 weeks 1.5, 2 weeks to write. A lot of research and stuff like that. Editing took several long days as well. It's a lot of work. Yeah. And in between I also spent some time building a new longest roller coaster, which is next video. So that, in that, oh, there's so much time in that. Do you like to record different videos in between each other? Do you focus on one video at a time? I usually do one video at a time. I mean, this was a bit of an exception since, as I said, I wrote this back in January. But since I wanted that video to lead into the next video about the longest coaster, which couldn't be built yet for a reason, I had to delay it. When actually in editing, you know, which is the point where I load up parks, record footage and put it in the timeline under the narration, that's, I always do one video at a time. I just start working on one video and then, you know, continue until it's finished. But yeah, if you have a video, for example, my video about nausea, if we go back in time a bit through my save files, look at how many save files there are for different nausea tests, seeing how nausea works exactly. All that stuff. So you've got a bunch for the water coaster, which was the video before that. Oh, there's more nausea stuff here, more nausea tests. Then this was a bunch for the longest coaster, which was back in January. I did that. And find, you know, a bug, fix it. I didn't fix it, someone else did. A lot of longest coaster tests. You know, then you get back to here and you got so many videos about breakdowns. Rain crash test, cool and wet finish, which was for the breakdown video. So many more block breaks vanilla test through 2 to through 8. And somewhere there's probably number 1 as well. You know, there's a ton. It takes a lot of testing, a lot of doing to actually figure out how an aspect of the game works. And then you have to write that down all in an understandable way, in a clear way. Ordering your thoughts, making sure you've covered everything. And yeah, that takes a while to do. We can borrow only 8,000. Was this supposed to be a beginner scenario? Because it's a beginner scenarios, but everything I encounter does not feel beginner. How rich are these people? 50, well, whether that's the minimum or maximum, it's not very rich. 60, 50... 50, 70, 60, 60, 50, 60, 70, 60, 50, 60, 70, 40. Okay, that's the final one. 40 to 70. That's not very rich. ATMs. No, no please. This is a pay-for-entry park. I don't want ATMs. They'll stay around forever and they'll ruin me financially. I guess that reading the game code does give you some info, but the actual way it works is just to test it. Well, I can read the code and kind of get an understanding. You know, I can see, for example, I can, what I did for the nausea, for example, is read the code and then wrote, you know, translated the formula for how much nausea the guest should get to in an Excel sheet. So I could calculate it depending on the ride, but then you also have to actually do it in the game just to get a feel for how it affects stuff. And also, I need to do a lot of tests in vanilla to see if it's the same, because for the reason the Reckless Twist said. When building the Google coaster, which is the longest coaster for next week, I discovered 2 bugs in OpenRST2 because it did not adapt vanilla behavior properly. One was a bit minor, relating about nausea. Other one was very, very major. So there's a lot that goes into it. Hey Marcel, I lost my old job due to downsizing my store back in January, but now I can say I start my new job on Monday. Congratulations! I do have a memory of you saying that you lost your job, I think. So, good to hear that you found a new one. Oh, and thank you for the 38 months, Lozowski. I love that you keep finding new bugs for the OpenRST2 team to fix, making the game better still. This was not necessarily making the game better, it's just making the game more accurate, which does make it better, but... Basically, in RCT2 Vanilla and now also in Open, if guests have a very high hunger, thirst or toilet, they'll lose 1 happiness every 12.8 seconds for every single one that's high. And high energy makes them even lose 2 happiness, or low energy, sorry. And that just didn't happen in Open. Now usually does not make a big difference, because in a normal park guests are unlikely to have multiple the stats very high for very long. And as they are constantly going on rides, they're gaining happiness, so it's not a very big deal. But when your guests are queuing for a billion years, it can be a big deal. No sloped turns. My bad. There you go. Right. Okay, you know what? Nobody cares about throughput, because this is not a paper ride park. So I don't have to position the entrance well. What is the real downside of the park entry being above the minimum spawn dollars? Well, fewer people get into the park, which means you make fewer monies. Although I will eventually, when I can do that, charge 50, even though the minimum is 40. Although, actually, no I won't, because I will just advertise. I will make my money by advertising. Otherwise it's taking too long for my liking. I know it's mostly practice, but it amazes me time and again how you casually build really nice coasters. Well, thank you. I think the Wild Mouse is aesthetically a lot better than the wooden coaster, which I think is a bit ugly. That penetrating the loops is really forced. It doesn't come naturally at all in the layout. A steel Wild Mouse without sloped turns just feels like a wooden Wild Mouse. It's got brakes. I mean, mine doesn't, but It could have brakes. Does anyone else find these little squares incredibly ugly? I know the answer is yes, because someone said that last livestream or the one before. So there we go, this is better. Just separate them with a fence. Ah, it was you, Tris. That makes sense. This is a lot better. In terms of pathfinding, it doesn't matter, but... I mean, maybe like one junction less, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. It's just prettier. Cotton candy, that's one of my favorite stalls. Fun fact, the bins are completely useless in this park because both the cotton candy and the toffee apple stall do not leave litter. Minimum 4 wide path for realism. Oh yes, because every path in a theme park is 12 meters wide. I think in Wallaby only like Main Street reaches that. Safest park in the country. Hell yeah, baby. We're gonna need so much more of everything. I guess we can disable research for water slides. Water rides. We're gonna need more gentle rides, I want more thrill rides. We need more coasters because we need to build 10 different types. We need more stalls. Well, we do have a drink stall now, but we need toilet. I want like souvenir stall and such. Most are actually probably wider. American theme parks are huge. Well, maybe, but I'll take you through Wallaby for a bit to show you what I'm working with in my head. That's the park I visited most. Somewhere here, there we go. Another street view here. Like this path, which is maybe 4 or 5 meters at most. And this is Main Street, which is quite wide. Then you go this direction. This is definitely not 12 meters. I mean, this is a plaza. This is not really a wide path, it's a plaza. Man, that is tiny. Well, I wouldn't want to walk on massive parks, on massive paths. You know, this is all a bit wider. And that way is, this way is Goliath. Few people are there. On this day, yes. Friday nights are the most popular when there are 25,000 people in it. Massive parking lot. Well, yeah. You got here. Well, and it goes all the way here. That's quite a big parking lot. Are these two different images fused together? Can we have a look at the parking lot? Can't really see it. But there are buses there. Isn't there a Six Flags Holland? This is Six Flags Holland. Except it's not called Six Flags Holland anymore. Yeah, there's the parking. It's just grass. I've parked there before. And I believe the paths in the Dutch park are made to make you walk a certain direction. I don't know about certain direction. It's not what I've experienced. Usually when I was in Wallaby it was quite... it was not too crowded because I always chose to go when it wasn't too crowded. You know, when I was a student I would just take a day off from uni and go on a weekday with some friends. Is it still operated by Six Flags? Well, it's called Wallaby Holland, so I don't know, I don't think so. To be honest, I don't know. If it was operated by Six Flags, it would presumably be called Six Flags, right? Then again, who knows? Well, someone probably does, but I don't. Okay, what's the latest thing we unlocked? Was a candy floss store. We're getting something new soon, though. I redeemed Drowning Guest a while ago. Oh, you did? While I was distracted on Google Street View. The most recent guest to have entered the park. Well, at this point, that shall be guest 460. Nice. Poor guest 469. Goodbye. The park spent a brief period in the 2000s under the Six Flags brand, following Wallaby's sale to the American-based theme park operator, but was reverted after being sold to Palomon Capital Partners and eventually its current owners. Ah, so it was also Wallaby before that. Wallaby's a kangaroo, by the way. We got a new vehicle for the wooden coaster. Well, that will count as a separate ride for the terms of this goal. So that is nice. Let's do a dinghy slide. Isn't it Wallaby? Well, that's not how it. That's not Wallaby World. It's WALABI. Probably based on the word wallaby. It might be a wallaby. Well, isn't the wallaby a type of kangaroo? The dinghy also counts as a coaster. I don't know if it does. It's listed under both water ride and coaster in vanilla, but it's clearly just a water ride in open. I don't think it does. Dinghy needs steep lift hills. Yes, and vertical drops. And when we're at it, we might as well give the corkscrews. I'm in favor of a zero roll. Yeah, that would be cool as well. Well, that doesn't line up properly. By the way, did you guys hear? Tom Scott is back on YouTube. After having disappeared for over 2 years, He has uploaded it again. Well, so far only the trailer. But I have seen the video because it's already out on Nebula and I happen to have Nebula. It's really good. Why did he disappear? Because he was done and he needed a break. He had uploaded a video on Monday for 10 years in a row. And he just needed a break. Welcome to the world's brightest spiral slide, water slide, dinghy slide. Shutting down my work laptop and watching him was a nice little tradition. Yes. I don't quite do that in that same way, but I did love watching him. Same with certain other YouTuber and Thursdays. If you're talking about me, I haven't done a regular Thursday schedule for like 2 years. I had it for several years before that. Do rock music on the dinghy slide. Alright. Name a ride of your choice. What's it gonna be, Method Wobblefald? A weekly video sounds so exhausting. I understand you can't do it anymore. Well, it was perfectly alright. It's the thing that since then my videos have massively grown in scope. Like, if you look at my most recent videos, then let's just have a little look. You know, if we're looking a few years ago, this is when I did weekly videos. At 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 11, 17, 13, 17. That's still on the longer side. Yeah. Okay, this was like in October, November 2023, I think. Which is when I worked the hardest I've ever worked. But you know, you got 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. That was an extra one. 15, 8 minutes. Yeah, you got some big ones like 21, but they're generally not too long. But if you go to my most recent videos now, 22 minutes, 32 minutes, 14 minutes, 36, 18, 17, 40 minutes, 31, 15, 31, 21, that's a short one at 8, and 20, 42 minutes. My videos are not only a lot more longer, but also more detailed. And I do more research to make sure I get it right. So, it's like, this one was probably, I think I made it in roughly a week, but I did go to Milan at some point, so that cost me more than a week as well, because of vacation. I think I made the nausea video in 11 days, which was quite fast considering it's 32 minutes. Weren't you working on an RCT2 beginners tutorial last year? Yes. I finished half an hour of that. And then I lost motivation for it. But I will probably pick it up at some point. Although I would have to revisit the script because I've learned quite a few things since then and I can probably make it better than it is currently. Basically, that half hour I finished is the first third of it. It's got, I mean, I can show you. It's quite interesting. Because it's by far my longest script ever. It's got like the only one I ever did proper chapters in. It's got 15 chapters, all about different things. You know, going from main menu and scenarios to ride type, scenery and terrain, and things like pathfinding and layout, guest spawning and awards, weather, ride operations, building custom rides. Hey, why is there no chapter 9? Oh, that's their research. And, you know, it's a 28-page script. How many words is this? 17,000 words. If you compare this to my video about the longest coaster, which is next one, which is going to be roughly 40 minutes, that's 11 pages. So 28 pages, well 27 if you don't include the first one with the chapters. It's quite a bit longer. I do still want to finish it at some point, but I need to revisit it and clean up the script probably. Especially the start, I'm worried it could be maybe a bit dull because it's like teaching you about the main menu and stuff. Then again, that is where you start. And we did recently have someone who could not figure out the main menu. Yes, the coaster that won't complete the circuit before the heat death of the universe. Well, I mean, yeah. A few hundred zeros. What is the non-vanilla music we're hearing? That's progressive style. On the Doggums. And I really, really like it. Right to rename. Oh yeah, I completely missed that when I... I was like, what do you want to rename? And I looked at someone else and I just completely got distracted. Citrus rafts. The color scheme reminds me of oranges, lemons and limes. Why did that coaster go super speed? Because I fast forwarded. That's proper fast forward. Okay, we can pay back our loan. That does save some interest. We're gonna run this scenario for a while, so we do need to pay back the loan. What is the world's largest continuous shrubland? That's a geography trivia question. Shrubland. Oh, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know what exactly counts as shrubland. Is it like the arid bits in Arizona and Mexico? That kind of stuff. With cacti and stuff. African savanna, yeah, could be as well. Like Tanzania and stuff, Serengeti. Honestly, I haven't got a clue. But I've given you a few guesses. I do find it an interesting question. Hello Maximus, welcome. I just had the disgusting cookie. Well, next time you should just decline optional cookies. Or was this one not optional? The answer is El Gran Chaco in Central South America. Central South America, is that like the top of Argentina and stuff? I think OpenRCT2 recently made it so you can make your own climates. Yes, that's possible. It wasn't optional, I bought it in a new cookie store I found, but it sucks ass. Well, that's a shame. Okay, we now got spiral roller coaster trains for Spiral Coaster. That's just the Spiral Coaster. Well, that's a new coaster type at least. And a reasonably cheap one that we can afford. Northern Argentina, southern Brazil. Right, that does make sense. I was thinking like Patagonia, but then I was like, well, that's more dead than bushland. Like there's just nothing there. But that's above Patagonia. With above being more northern. Australia has the most scrubland of any continent. In total or as a percentage? Because it's quite a small continent, so maybe like Asia has more in total. Or Africa. Or maybe not. I mean, I don't know anything about this. That's not true. I know quite a few things about geography. Peeps can't pee properly, they can only water your plants. Or water their pants. It's not my fault that I don't have toilets available. The local government won't allow me to build toilets until I research them. And that's not my fault. Just plant some more trees. While for the men that works, for the women trees don't quite work as well. So that's still a problem. I wish toilets could break down and only handymen could fix them. Surely a mechanic would do that, not handyman. And at least 50% of the guests will have to pee less. Yeah, but I think that's discriminatory. I'd rather have just everyone wet themselves. That's equal opportunity embarrassment. Good evening, Weatherby. You tried to make me pee myself with that award, I see. Well, you are not going to succeed. Because I do have access to a toilet. And otherwise, I have a balcony. Okay, we got the mini coaster. Not the easy. I was gonna say 10 excitement, but all every ride instead of the 6 we need. I'm not sure how feasible it is, because that's gonna take some massive rides. Gonna take a lot of money, and we can't make money very quickly. So I don't think that's really feasible. We still haven't unlocked a single extra flat ride, well, either gentle or thrill. We unlocked a bunch of roller coasters, a few stalls, No toilets, no info, no blue install. You know what? I'm just gonna... There's no deadline here. Just gonna let it run for a bit. Because why not? And while we're running, we're making some decent money. Okay, there we go. We have 45k in the bank. Unlocked a bunch of rides so that we can properly continue building. I think the lack of time limit makes these scenario goals trivially easy. You have no idea how much some people struggle with building rides. Now, you could rely on pre-builds. Well, you don't actually have that many different... That is unlocked, but yeah, you could like rely on pre-builds, but still. The only way you can fail this goal is by just getting into lots of debt. But you know, Gravity Gardens does not have a time limit. But Gravity Gardens is famously quite difficult. We still don't have another flat ride. I don't really want to have a park with only coasters. It looks much better if there's also flat rides spread throughout. Too short. Why mini helicopters? The car ride is so much better. I think the mini helicopters looks better here. Because it's not as bulky. Okay, this is a better mini helicopters ride. This is a bit longer. No, Monster Trucks is not technically a car ride, Mr. Federals. They're two distinct rides. It's not like the Haunted Mansion ride and the Ghost Train, which share one RTD file, ride type descriptor file. The Monster Trucks and the car ride are actually two different rides. Similar to how the Hyper Twister and the Twister are two different ride types. Speaking of Twister, we just unlocked the Twister. I know you hate it, but I quite like the submarine ride. Only ride that goes underwater, pretty unique. I don't really hate the submarine ride as a thing by itself. It's just that it's laughably bad is what it is. Like, you can only build it if you have a bit of water available. And then you don't see it very well because it's underwater. And it's also still just bad in terms of throughput and stuff. So that's mostly it. It's just awful. Then not done, but oh. Well, whoopsily daisily. I can't even do a small loop here. I can buy land? No. Marcel cannot buy land. Marcel sad. Okay, can we do a loop here? Do we have the speed for... Yeah, we easily should have the speed for that. Mate, easily. Obviously, but playing this game only for efficiency kills the purpose. True. But there's still, like... I even find so few places to even use it. A boat, because a boat hire, for example, is also a thing you can only place on water, but it's much more fun to look at. A photo sexy. Hell yes. The Adriatic Sea. Do we know what island this is then? This is Malta. Which has been moved, so it's now in the Adriatic Sea. And that was not at all a cover-up from me saying an island that is not in the Adriatic Sea by accident, because I thought we meant the Mediterranean, not realizing for a bit that the Adriatic is only part of the Mediterranean. Wait, did we unlock the toilets? Yes, we did! During that fast forward session, we unlocked the toilets. The guest walking around this fountain looks a bit like they're worshipping the cult, or they're going around the Hajj. Hajj? Kaj? Whatever that big stone in Mecca is called. Kaaba? That big stone. I gotta say that cliff face looks dog shite. Honestly, the main problem with cliffs in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 is that you don't have a good rock available. Like, these are the only four in RST2. In RST1 you do have the light grey, but I also don't think that's particularly great, especially on bigger surfaces. The four terrain options is just really underwhelming. Land, plenty, but like terrain, sides, walls. It's just underwhelming. Okay, it doesn't quite make that. What about a medium? Oh, that was a medium. Okay, how about we just do a zero growl here? Well, that doesn't quite work. Corkscrew? Corkscrew. Nope. Okay, how about just a quarter loop? Also, no pretty poperty. Okay, I have a better idea. Boosters! Even with just that, you can make it more gradual, have some outcrops, some pointy rocks at the bottom, maybe a beach section, depending on what you're going for. I mean, yes, this is incredibly basic and flat. You're right. But it is also hampered by just the shit terrain options in RCT2. That not on back. Oh, screw off. Okay, we don't have a dive loop. Apparently. Are you aiming for 10 intensity? Well, I'm aiming for something. Okay, that's a bit higher than we need to be. Let's see if it makes that. Oh, easily. This could very well be over 10 intensity. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to test it. And why not a barrel roll? Well, that won't help. The thing is gonna be through the roof. I think I put 7 inversions on it. Probably a lot of G-forces at points as well. There might be like 11, 12 intensity. We'll see though. Maybe I'll be positively surprised, which I often am by the Twister Coaster actually. Okay, so that's a 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And that's it, 7 inversions. Alright, the new spiral turn elements. I didn't use any of them, so I'm not sure what reminds you of it. But you're right, they do exist. Well, 9.42 intensity, look at that. But we don't even have 5 Gs. I thought the speed at the top of this loop would be 5 Gs for sure, but apparently not. Well, so on, nope. So yeah, this coaster is perfectly fine. Got over half a point of intensity to spare. And I'm nearly through all my hard-earned money. Hard-earned, he says, just advertising and fast-forwarding. But hey, I'm rich, and that means I automatically ascribe all my financial success to hard work and not luck. But I'm no longer rich. I see vandalisms. I no longer see vandalisms. Kill a vandal now. I don't know if we still have a vandal though. No, I don't think we do. Well, that's a lot of people going on Mr. Twister. Ooh, I like the purple and the green aesthetic. Okay, this fully loaded train will go a lot faster in the end. 65. This is unhealthily fast for one of those loops. But yeah, the difference on top of this hill is massive. 33, I believe it went like 15 in testing. Make this progressive music as well. So you know how Ideal is becoming Wero? Ideal is Wero slogan and all that. Yes. I haven't really kept up with any news about that, but I know it's happening. Basically, for those who don't know, Ideal. Let's just tried to buy something on the German site and saw Wero. Oh, cool. Let me use that. And my banking app is like, what is that QR code? I don't know. Well, I guess there's still some child sicknesses, which is what we call it in the Netherlands when there's still some early problems. We call them kinderziektes, which translates to child diseases. Or sicknesses. Why do I still not have unlocked the thrill? Growing pains. Yes, I couldn't come up with growing pains. But basically, for those who don't know, Ideal is a app, program, whatever it's called, that we use in the Netherlands. That we can use to transfer bank, like money and stuff. So you can pay, for example, if you order food, you can pay by Ideal, and then it gets directly from your bank account to their bank account. Nothing. It doesn't matter what bank you use. Every bank can use it. Well, maybe like one or two very tiny old ones, maybe not. I don't know, but every bank can use it, and it works. Yeah, no credit card fees, no nothing. It is an ideal payment method. It's really great, and it's now being turned into Wero because it's going to be European instead of just Dutch. So you can use it in every country in Europe. But apparently the name Ideal wasn't ideal in some countries, so that's why they had to change it. And now every time you buy something and you pay using Ideal, you get a big message saying Ideal's gonna change. It's gonna become Wero. And some people will still be confused by it when the name Ideal at some point fully disappears. Not every country. I think for starters only Benelux and Germany so far. I believe it was planned to be every country in Europe. Because only Benelux and Germany. I don't think Ideal would be a problem there, the name. Name it Mr. Twister. Yes, sir. Yes, mister. But yeah, we don't really use credit cards here. Like, the only times I use a credit card is when I buy something from other places, like other countries stuff. If I can't use something like Ideal. Okay, I want thrill rides. I'm just gonna only research thrill rides. I'm getting a gentle ride there. The Ninja Ride Pro. More stupid car ride cars. I don't need those. Let's build another roller coaster then. You can also use Ideal for automatic payments, like monthly subscription payments and stuff like that. You can use it for a lot. You just advertised free entry. Oh well, it'll be fine. Pick a coaster type for me to build. Well, it's going to be after the junior, but... Wait, did we already have a junior? No. Why do I remember building one then? Can you build a wooden coaster? The Scenic Railway from Dreamland UK. No. You can pick a coaster type for me to build, but I will not recreate a specific roller coaster. Just wood. Okay, that's fine. Just dream up what the Scenic Railway would look like. Well, probably scenic and probably, well, a wooden coaster. It'd be pretty cool to ride that thing when I go on a historic ride. How old is it? Considering it's called Scenic Railway, it feels like it's from the 20s or something. And the 1920s, not the 2020s. 100 plus years old, yeah, that would make sense. From 1920 exact. Well, I got that right then. It was operational until 2 years ago. Well, too bad, Max, you can't ride it. Alright. Put this around here. I do love my Bonai. That used to be a shop near my granddad's. A supermarket called the Boney. Where he used to get his groceries. Stats of the spiral. 5.54, not even 6, not even close. 3.92, 2.04. It's ridiculous stats, that's what it is. The oldest coaster I've been on is, I think, Big Dipper in Blackpool, 1923. The oldest I would have been on... maybe one at... I don't know. I don't know how old like the Python is, or like one of the old ones at Slagharen, or I think the Thunders from 1992. I've not been on many very old rides. Python is 1981. The thing is, I don't know if I have ridden Python. Because I remember going to the Efteling and finding it too scary, but I've been multiple times. And I don't know if the last time I've been there, I've actually been on it. I think I have been, but I don't remember. How old is the Robin Hood? Which doesn't exist anymore, but how old is the Robin Hood from Walibi? Damn, this thing be popular. Python is so smooth today. Yes, it was completely refurbished, wasn't it? Hey, Rotodrop. Here I go watching your weather video again to make sure I know what I'm doing, creating a climate. Have fun. It's a good video. Robin Hood 1998-2000. Okay, so that one's definitely not old. So my oldest might be the Python. But there was also, when I went to Slagharen, I think it had two coasters. One was the Thunder Loop, which is a looping star design. And the other one was like a smaller-ish red coaster. I don't know the name of it, but I looked it up once on like Google Maps or something, and I did find it, so I know it does exist. But I don't know how old it would be. I don't think I've ever been on a roller coaster outside of those three parks. That's not true. I've been on whatever the one at Speelstad Oranje is called. That one was a tiny one though. I think that's a Wacky Worm design, only it has a dragon train. Did you go on Thunder Loop? Yes. Okay, that one of course might also be older. I went on Thunder Loop for the first time in 2005. It's from 1979. Ah, alright. What was it, 2006? No, 5. Older than Python, yes. 20 makes it too hot though. Plus 10 degrees. I want to make a tropical climate. 10 degrees is more than the yearly variation. I mean, you could just only... No, because you need rain. Wait, there are no places on Earth when there's less than 10 degrees variation between the min and max. Right? Are there? Well, there's no countries on Earth where that's the case, but... Countries are, of course, bigger than one place. Most of them, anyway. Hang on, list of countries by extreme temperatures. Wikipedia is a good place for that. So you do just this and then... Oh, I thought there was like a difference as well per country, but... No. We get 22 to 32 degrees all year where I live. Where do you live? If it's very small, you shouldn't say, because doxing. Singapore, let's see, what's Singapore? Where's that climate graph that Wikipedia often has? It's not on here. Temperature. Scrolled right past it, did I? I mean, this is the climate bit. It's not here. Yeah, it says usually range from 22 to 32 degrees. But that's... It depends on what you mean with tropical, because tropical could mean rainforest, but it also could mean a tropical island. Tropical islands generally have little variation. Rainforests might have a bit more, because they're not next to the sea. Eastern, northeastern Brazil. Okay. So if we go... So, eastern, northeastern Brazil. So let's say Fortaleza climate. I just want to see. Okay, yes, that's extremely consistent. Do we have a normal temperature scale? Is there a Celsius scale? I don't see a way to change to Celsius. Oh, there it is. So basically between 26 and 31. Well, you can't really do that in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Also, I believe the sunny climate increasing, sunny weather increasing the temperature is also just to, like, it's warmer in the sun. I think that's just to simulate it being warmer in the sun, not actually the temperature being higher. I mean, the temperature in the sun is higher, obviously, but that's not what we usually talk about when we're talking about the temperature of a place. We talk about the shadow temperature usually. Weren't you going to build a morning woody? Oh yes, I was. Well, I'll finish this ride. I am so easily distractible. Build a path around here. Because I want to build my morning woody somewhere here and I need to have a jumping off point. Interesting, the coaster Rutschebanen in Tivoli Gardens is from 1914. But before that, there was a coaster called the Rutschebanen from 1902, and before that from 1887, from 1843. Isn't that just the coaster of Theseus? Sort of. Not literally reusing parts, but is it still the same coaster? Okay, to make this count as an extra ride type, I'm going to use something different than the articulated trains that the other one uses. A disgusting state of paths. Well, where then? I don't see any disgusting paths. These are perfectly fine. Puke puddles are good grippy surface. They are easy to walk on. Now kill the vandals. Well, we don't have a lot of benches and stuff here, so... Yeah, I see only one vandalized bench. That vandal's most likely not around anymore. So this is my interpretation of the scenic railway. Very scenic. I mean, you go over water, that's scenic. I also want to play this game. Is it on Steam? Yes, it's on Steam. It's on Good Old Games. That's just Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, the Triple Thrill Pack. And then I also recommend, because it makes playing it a lot easier, getting OpenRCT2, which you can just find by googling it, openrct2.io. And you do need the base game for that, so Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and then it'll install itself when you download it. And it just makes it a lot easier to play, because the old game might not always run so well on modern systems. It's a few bucks on Steam, like $7 or whatever. Depends a bit on if there's a sale on. Now this thing is gonna have 10 intensity. So far not. It depends how much longer I'm gonna make it. We are definitely gonna need another chain lift though, because we have lost too much speed to make it back up. Add a splash strip. I don't want to add a splash strip because that's at least not here, because it's gonna lose me way too much speed. Do you like Pret Parker IRL? I mean, yes. I'm not a fanatic about them, but I do like them. We can add a splash bit here. And then chain lift. Random Dutch word in the English sentence. I thought I did that, but no, that person did that. Pret Park, yeah, that's theme park. I didn't even realize, I didn't even notice. Photo section. There we go. Now, did I make it too intense? Or are we fine? Hello, Rails. Welcome. $120km/h wooden coaster. Nice. Honestly, I think this should be fine. Because all the places where it's getting like relatively heavy G-forces later on doesn't really matter, because only the highest point matters. And one drop is one drop, no matter how fast or slow you take it. Well, this last bit is a good boring bit to calm you down. Lowest photo ever. Yes. They'll still buy it though, they'll still buy it. I mean, they'll even buy it if the photo isn't even connected to the ride, so. Aw, 10.21, just a little bit too high. But you know, who gives a crap? They'll still go on it. And I'm not here to make money from my rides. Shorter trains will do the trick. Yeah, but who cares? We are nearly out of money though. Because these rides do be expensive. This one even still got the 6 excitement that we need for the goal, despite getting an intensity penalty. That one's got 6 excitement, well, it's got 8. That one... Oh, ha! I never checked it, but this one's got excessive lateral G-forces. Definitely at the end. You know, I remember building that and being like, is that gonna be alright? And then I just never checked it. It's still over 6 excitement though. It's still high enough. That's not good. If I got 10.8 intensity, I mean, guests are flocking to it. It's at nearly 5,000 customers. This one's fine. I never checked the stats on this one either, but this one turns out to be fine. That does mean we already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 probably, unless this one's got 6 excitement. No. We got 4 coasters that fill the requirements already. The bare-faced cheek, the sexy bare-faced cheek. Would Chris Sawyer have modeled that dummy award after his own buttocks, do you think? You know, standing in the mirror, looking at what it should look like. I don't think I want to know. You know what? If I ever get an opportunity to interview him, I'm gonna ask him that. After his wife's house. We don't know if he's got a wife, do we? For all we know, he's got a husband. Or a dog. Didn't someone else do the graphics? Right, Simon Foster did the graphics. Or maybe Simon Foster modeled it after Chris Sawyer. Okay, this should boost the intensity somewhat. I mean, excitement. Yeah, 5.54. We'll just add some cheeky underground sections. He's Scottish, so he's a sheep. Pretty sure it's the Welsh you're thinking of. Yeah, the Scots do goats. Or is that the Irish? Water under the track, that will help as well, yes. 5.71. See what happens. We change this to the liquid stuff. 5.73, that didn't do a lot. Okay, how about Okay, I can't actually build a path in between here. I just beheaded a giraffe. God, this is getting ugly. Okay, I wanted to go through the loop, but that's not really happening. Ugliest path ever. Well, I've built worse in the past. In the past. But hey, this thing got 5.96 excitement now. I think just a few more bushes and stuff here will do it. Yeah, 6.10. And it's not even a dummy path. In Wales there are 3 million people and 12 million sheep. You can put the rest together. Well, I think they're already putting themselves together pretty well. Okay, I need more money. Oops, I advertised free entry for park again. Oh well, it's cheap. Honestly, I am so excited for tomorrow's video. I think it's maybe the best I've ever done. I mean, it's up there against some really good ones, so I'm not sure if it is, because there are some videos I'm very proud of. But this is an incredibly good one. We still don't have any utility. Well, toilets, I guess, utility, but you know, these are 3 very standard things: food, drink, pee. We don't have any info kiosk, balloon stall. To be fair, we're not researching stalls, so that's a research stall. While we're making some money. Which country has the highest sheep-human ratio? The people of New Zealand are the luckiest, I believe. I was right, nice. How many sheeps are there? Snow Cup's very appropriate for the location of the park. Yes. Wait, did I drink the water from 12 minutes ago? Well, I will do now. Did the free park entry thing again. It's fine. It costs 600 bucks. And the people that will enter the park will still, like, buy stuff. Okay, what have we gotten? Still no souvenirs or anything. I want to sell souvenirs. We did get a Suzhonghua stall, but... well, let's sell some Suzhonghua. But I quite like Suzhonghua. I've never had it. I don't even really know what it is. I just like saying Suzhonghua. Damn, this path is popular. How did that happen? There's nothing here, mates. Why are you all here? New Zealand has almost 24 million sheep. Well, that's nearly enough to last me a year. I saw wonton soup yesterday, but didn't have it. Why not? Okay, time for our color roaster. How about an invert? Was already eating something else. That's always your excuse. Why don't you have an infinite stomach like the rest of us? That doesn't quite fit. Will this come out in a place we can come out? Whoops, that cost a lot of money. Will it make this? I don't think it will. But we'll have to wait and see. Sujongwa appears to be a kind of cinnamon punch, according to what I've been reading. What's punch? I always forget what punch is. I know I've asked this on the stream before and I got an explanation and I knew what it was and then I've forgotten again. 160... Hang on, what turn did I put there? Okay, that's a large turn. That's good enough. For a medium turn, that would have been too fast. It's fruity juice stuff. Okay, thank you. Alcohol optional. Yeah, if they're talking about the punch bowl at a party, then usually it is alcoholic, right? Is this the world's most frustrating inline twist? You swap direction every 180 degrees, never making a full rotation. It's also a fist at great speed, making contact. I was aware of that kind of punch. That train was straight up DRL. Not in this game, baby. Once again, I'm wondering whether I've overdone it or whether I've done a good Marcel. What I consider a good Marcel is doing something extreme and ridiculous, but keeping the intensity below 10. And I don't know if I've done that here, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to test the ride. It does go over 160 kilometers an hour, which is quite rapid. I'm pretty sure I'm using a large turn there, though. The lateral should be fine. Let's go do such an awful experience IRL. Shout to all that. Oh, he'll love it! It's such a useless thing. Just go 160 kilometers per hour, go up again, go into another chain lift. It's so completely nonsensical. It makes completely no sense. Okay, what's the intensity gonna be? 9.82! I did it good, Marcel! Hey! It's below 10, baby. We got 5.9 positive Gs. It's a completely ridiculous ride. Nearly 100 meter drop. That inline twist is criminal. I think it's great. I think this is the best ride I've ever built. Just watch it go. That is completely edging a twist. The inline twisted. This is the best ride I've ever built. And it's below 10 intensity. That coaster needs its own handyman, not just 7 plus. 7.6 even, well, 0.59. Which is indeed quite a high. Still a lower nausea than the space rings. Nope. 6.5 on the space rings. You know, a certain day's coming up soon. Maybe an in-depth video about why this is the best coaster ever made. You know what? That's not a bad idea. You know what the problem with April Fools is this year? It falls in the middle of a cliffhanger where at the end of one video, which is tomorrow's video, I go, wait a week and then you'll see the conclusion of this story. And April Fools falls in the middle of that. And I don't really want to upload the video in the middle of that. Should probably build an entrance and an exit path. It's the fastest ride in the park as well, because this one only goes 128. This one only goes 123. This one goes 167. Still haven't got any souvenirs to sell. What's the most extreme coaster you've ever made? I once made a ride with 327.67 intensity. It was an overflow glitchy thing. Without that, I don't know, 25-ish. I mean, it's gonna be higher now because it counts further with thermal loops. It used to not count past 31 inversions. Now it counts, I think, up to 255. Hey, the hat stall. Nice. What's the highest nausea you've ever reached on a coaster that has no more than 9.99 intensity? I think 12.55. Hang on, there's one yellow hatter here. He deserves to die. Goodbye, yellow hatter. You're not allowed in my perfect world. You need to be die. Oh, we've got a Red Hatter who's also not allowed. They also need to be die. Die, 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 die. Okay, let's see. Can I... Oh, apologies for the burps. Let's see. Can I find my ride with 12.55? It was for the nausea video. God, which of these? No, it wasn't. It was for the... let's see, that's breakdowns. We're somewhere... Yes, we're here. Intensity preferences. There we go, 12.55 nausea. Oh, this is over 10 intensity. Well, this one doesn't count then. But we are on exactly 12.55 nausea. Wait, a lot of helixes. I mean, this is kind of how you do it. Also, the lateral G bonus. What causes nausea? Oh, there's a lot of factors. Basically, if we look at it, every roller coaster has a ride type descriptor, and in those ride type descriptors you see these numbers. And there you see 3 numbers here every time. The first one's excitement, the second one's intensity, the third one's nausea. So you can see that, for example, length goes up to a maximum of 6,000, which is meters. And then there's 764 for excitement. And you get no intensity, no nausea from it. Train length gets 187,000 for excitement. Which seems a lot longer, but a lot more. But do keep in mind that the ride length goes up to 6,000. Train length only goes up to 8 at the most. Well, 13 I think on the junior. And then max speed does give like nausea. But then there's also like, for example, for turns, which are bonus turns, you get a certain amount of nausea. But then within the turns, there's like a basic nausea thing, and then that got multiplied by all these things. If we take the swinging suspended coaster, and you know, I need to at some point, you know, like nausea explained, intensity explained, excitement explained. There's 3 videos. I should put them on my ideas list. But let's go to the swing suspended coaster, suspended swinging coaster, and compare these two. So from turns, the looping coaster gets 26,000 excitement, 34,000 intensity, 45,000 nausea. This one, well, it's nearly the same, just a slight bit more turns. Just a slight bit more nausea from turns, only from 45 to 48,000. You do get bonus G forces, 79,000, is that a lot? Yeah, only 49,000, so the swing suspended coaster gets, compared to the looping coaster, a lot more from G forces at least. You also got the base stats, which it gets at the start, which for the swing suspended coaster is 3.3, 2.9, and 3.5. Looping coaster 3, 0.5, 0.2. So 3 and 3.3 is roughly the same, but the looping coaster by default has 2.4 less intensity and 3.3 less nausea. This is where a lot of it comes from. Now let's compare that to the hardline. Oh, hey Blaze, welcome. The hardline 3, 1.7, 1.6 seems not too bad, but do keep in mind, why is this brown? Do keep in mind that this 3 used to be 1. OpenRCT2 just increased it by 2. So yeah. What is the multi-dim have for base nausea? I could also probably just make an hour-long video just going over nausea intensity and excitement in one. That's probably better because I have to repeat myself less. 4.79 base nausea for the multi-dim. The other one gets a bit lower, so eventually on moisturizer it gets roughly on the same nausea as a swinging sus, but 4.79 base nausea. I should put this on a table. Like a Google sheet, spreadsheet. This is all very interesting. Anyway, this is what I've done so far with your scenario, Blaze. And I fast forwarded a lot because it takes a while to unlock. Right. Also, is this supposed to be an easy scenario? Because I found it in the easy ones. Doesn't feel easy. Because guests are not that rich, you charge for the entrance, you don't start out with a lot of rides. Am I researching roller coasters? Yes, I'm researching roller coasters. Good. It's supposed to be fairly easy. Well, it just takes a long time. I mean, I guess it's not difficult, but it takes a long time. Okay, let's see how high a speed we... Holy crap, we can start up this high. If I, for example, make a big powered mine coaster with like 50 cars, I should get a lot of excitement. Yes. And let's head back to the station. This is not mine. Can we just launch this at the fastest speed and be fine? Jackie Park, hells to the yes, baby. One of the things about this easy scenario pack is it might be easy, but it's supposed to be progressively more difficult based on how many sequentially you played of this. Fair, I don't know where this one would fall there. Hang on. Need some time to focus on it. Hell yeah, 200 kilometers an hour. .65 intensity. I count it as a win. That's not too high. Like, guests will ride that. With a bit of bone we can get this to 6 excitement. Our average speed was a very nice 69 kilometers an hour. I think that gives a bone eye. that does. I was watching one of your VODs last night and my cat was very interested in the twister coaster you were building. Well, cats are known to like my work. Your cat's not the first one. It is completely ridiculous. Hope you're enjoying this scenario. Yes, I should show you the brilliant swings inverted coaster I built. So it goes up the chain lift, and then whoops, and then we're here, and that's I just follow the train. Absolutely brilliant, this design. What comes next is the best bit. I call it the inline edge. Or the edging twist. Absolute cinema. It's not even got 10 intensity, it's perfectly fine. Yes, pushes some supports. It's totally realistic. Don't tell me it's not. $5.12 excitement. Yeah, we are getting a penalty. Didn't this used to be plus 10% intensity? Yeah, something changed, I remember now. I don't know why, I don't know what was wrong with it exactly. Getting this to 6 is going to be hard, but whatever, we don't need it to be 6. I'm going to get rid of the supports though. There we go, that's a lot more realistic. The bushes are no longer on supports. There's someone with a yellow shirt. Found one. You're a dead woman. A goodbye. Rename a guest Blazing Empire and drown them already. You are also a dead man. You're somewhere there. I didn't see you die, but I definitely felt it in my heart of hearts. Okay, just to do a quick experiment to show the difference between a short and a long train. Let's build 2 Liberty loops. We don't have the money for 2 Liberty loops. Let's make some money and let's then build 2 Liberty loops. Okay, that's a lot better. We have about 30k. To the ass again, and then we'll do our Liberty Loop experiment. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the cheat for disable vehicle limit. So Liberty Loop 1, Liberty Loop 2. One of them is gonna have the normal trains. Let's just put it to one train. The other one's gonna have a 50 car train. Now that will change the stats a bit, of course. But he should also get a lot more excitement. But yeah, still going way too slow. I'm not sure if this comparison really works wonders. We'll see though, we'll see. I mean, despite lower lateral Gs, lower positive vertical Gs, a lower top speed, it's got more than a point extra excitement. So you can definitely see it in action. Did this thing just stopped by block brakes? It's still in its own same block section. It's stuck forever. Because the tail is just still in that block section. It can never go. Why did that not happen the first time? Why did it only happen now? Yeah, with the chain lift sound. For a second I thought my game was frozen. Did I probably disable the cheat? Yes. Let's build. Did I delete bobsled 606? It appears I did. When pruning my rights, I deleted bobsled 606, thinking I wouldn't need it, and now I want it. Just do that one. Fine. More? Well, I guess we're gonna have to do bobsled trains. This thing was built for flying turns. I don't know if it can handle bobsled trains. I'm gonna put short trains on it because I think with long trains it'll crash because it was built for the single cars of the flying turns, considering the name. I don't really remember building this, but you know. Let's see if it navigates it safely. I have doubts, especially when guests go on it. Looks cute though. So far it's not crashed. Oh, the wooden coaster's got stuck. Because train 3 on wooden coaster 2 hasn't returned to the station yet. Okay, this is safe without guests. Let's now hope it's safe with guests as well. They got stuck in the water section. Well, oh, let's see what happens when the third train. Will the third train like push the first one out of it or something? That would be funny. I don't know how long this has been going on for. Forward a bit. Okay, what happens? Yes, this the first one gets pushed. Come on, come on, come on. Now we're stuck. Well, they're doing perfectly fine on there, to be honest. I don't see a reason to get them unstuck. I don't need their right to make money. Okay, so what's the stats on this baby? 6.43, that's high enough for me. Hey, that rhymes. Ooh, Krypton dips. The reason I'm building pre-builds is because I want to finish this scenario today. I'm gonna have to make more money now though. Name it Bob Marcel's baby. What? What is that on earth a reference to? But sure. Bob Marcel sounds like the Dutch version of Bob Marley. It does, yes. Okay, what's the stats on this? Surely 6. Oh, 7.84 excitement. That's pretty good. How many rides do we now have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. How about an APVC? Which has no support limit. So we can make one go as fast as we want. Also no support costs. So all this terrain doesn't matter for making it go as fast as we like. And it may have no support costs, but that doesn't mean it's not ridiculously expensive. Also, nearly any one of the... I believe as soon as you hit the stat requirements for this, you'll easily be 6. You know, have 6 excitement. Well, that one's a little bit too extreme. Let's lower the launch speed a little bit. That's still very fast. Oh, I think that was edging lateral G territory. We beat the 6. Wait, did I still beat 6? Hang on, let's put it back to 162. Because if I did, that's gonna be hilarious. No. 4.20, which is a good number. Don't get me wrong, but it's not quite 6 excitement. I mean, let's have a look. We have that cheap one. 8! 8 for the cheap one. That is the closest you can get to failing the stat requirements. Even that's got 8. That's ridiculous. But this one got 7.1 after an intensity penalty. Why did I make like half the coasters too intense in this park? Like seriously, if you go to intensity, we got 5 coasters, 4 coasters with over 10 intensity. And the one that I did not attempt to make intense is actually the most intense one because it got an intentional lateral G penalty, which is this small woody. You built this park like extreme height. Yes, I did. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't quite hit the mute button in time for the microphone. Right. I think we need one more ride. Let's just see. Excitement. Yeah, we got 9 rides over 6 excitement. They're all roller coasters. Not going to be any other ride. So. Let's do one more. Let's make some money. Just so that we have a bit of play money. Well, Bob Marley so far hasn't crashed. Even though it's already had more than 600 guests. You know, it had about 200 full trains. And it's doing well. Okay, I think we have enough cash with 44k, 45k. A stream with no crash is a failed one. Well then, most of our streams will be fails. I think most. Do we? I don't think we have a crash in more than half of the streams. Oh, we got a Lazum launched coaster. Hells to the yes. Now that is an epic drop. Look at that. Okay, we're on ×2 speed. That looks a bit fast. Does anyone know what random bias and dist rotation mean in the climate.json files? I have no idea, but I do know that climates are just you know, basically a list of weathers that can happen every month. Maybe in the climate type you have to fill in a percentage? I don't know. I've never looked at them because when I did my video on them, they were still it was still all in the code instead of as climate types. The dive loop is such a gorgeous element. Damn, that's a good speed through those dive loops. I did well there. I have found an illegal loophole that's too damn OP. Are you talking in Mimi video game terms or actually something illegal? As in OpenRST2. Well, what are you talking about then? Oh, that's a good speed through there. Oh, I love this music. The air-powered vertical coaster, cheap hypercoaster, cheat hypercoaster trains on it, and man, that's it. I mean, if you're gonna cheat, then it's not a loophole, that's just cheating. You know, then you might as well just cheat in money. Right. It's a stats loophole. I mean, you might as well cheat in stats then, you know? $170k an hour top speed. That climb is wonderful. And these... Oh, these inversions are wonderful too. I did not even properly time that. That was pure dumb luck that this worked out so well. I think I still only have 5 mechanics, but still not enough. I think this wins us the scenario. Does it? I haven't looked at the stats to be fair. Come on. Yeah, baby! Hold on the stats. Whoa! Nearly 9 excitement. Holy crap, this thing is overpowered. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Easily the most exciting ride in the park, is it? Yes, after Mr. Twister. With half a point difference. Well, this isn't quite a pretty park, but I had a lot of fun building it. Especially this Twister coaster, which is the best ride I've ever built. Right. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Let's see who we can raid. Is there anyone online this time who is playing Roller Coaster Tycoon? Someone called Iane Bean. And someone called Micah Marcus. Oh, well, that's Dutch. Ah, another one. Tilly DX. I wonder, do they have a mic? Well, you know what? I'll send you guys over to them. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you again on the day of the day of the sun today of the wetness. And I hope you enjoyed tomorrow's video. I think it's a very good one. And a good and a night. Bye bye.